Okay, let's dive right into this. Today, I'm putting on my official labor inspector hat to walk you through one of the absolute most important worker rights out there, Article 15 of the Cambodian labor law. This right here, it is the absolute bedrock for making sure workplaces are fair, humane, and just. For today's official inspection briefing, we're going to keep it clearly structured. We'll quickly cover the prohibition of forced labor, look at the international laws that back it up, see exactly who's protected, and then talk about the severe financial penalties for breaking the rules.
Now, take a look at this official Cambodian labor law poster regarding Article 15. As a labor inspector, this is the actual real-world legal document we use out in the field. These aren't just polite suggestions, folks. This is binding law, and it has to be strictly enforced.
Section 1. The prohibition of forced labor.
Under Article 15, forced labor is strictly, and I mean strictly, prohibited. In plain terms, an employer absolutely cannot force an employee to work against their will, no matter the circumstances. We usually see this kind of coercion happen through threats or something called debt bondage. Debt bondage is a really serious issue. It's like a giant trap where an employer might pay off a ransom or give a worker a loan and then use that exact debt to chain them to the job. They force them to work off the debt indefinitely, in totally unfair conditions, and the worker literally can't quit. It completely strips away their freedom of choice. Under this law, that entire practice is 100% illegal.
Section 2. International Conventions and Law. Now, what's really interesting about this is,
This national law didn't just pop up out of nowhere. Back on June 28, 1930, the International Labor Organization, the ILO, adopted Convention No. 29 to wipe out forced labor worldwide. And when Cambodia officially ratified this convention on February 24, 1969, it permanently linked our local labor standards to a massive global human rights movement. This means worker protection is a globally recognized standard. So when we enforce Article 15 today, we are actively upholding decades-old international agreements designed to protect human dignity everywhere. Pretty powerful, right?
Section 3. Who exactly does this law protect? A question we get out in the field all the time is, who falls under this? Well, the answer is incredibly simple. It applies to all individuals. There are literally no legal loopholes here. Whether you're a local citizen, a migrant worker just looking for a better life, a full-time corporate employee, or a seasonal day laborer, as long as you are working under Cambodian jurisdiction, this law protects you. No exceptions. As labor inspectors, our mandate is to make sure this coverage blankets every single corner of the job market.
To be crystal clear, the law explicitly mentions certain vulnerable groups that historically might have been overlooked or exploited. This includes domestic workers and agricultural workers. Let me give you a concrete example from an inspector's perspective. If an employer locks a domestic worker inside a house, forces them to work, and literally won't let them walk out or quit, that is a direct, severe violation of Article 15. Same thing goes for agricultural workers. If a farm intentionally withholds wages to trap workers from leaving at the end of the harvest season, total violation. Everyone has the freedom to choose their work no matter where that workplace actually is.
Section 4. Penalties for violating the law. So, the crucial point is, what actually happens when these rules get broken?
well, to figure out the exact fines, we look to a specific legal document, PRCAS number 326. This interministerial declaration was issued on November 24, 2022. This document is a total game changer because it sets the official base daily wage used to calculate financial penalties for labor law violations. We use this joint declaration to make sure fines are completely standardized and consistent across all government bodies. It completely eliminates any guesswork when an inspector has to issue a fine.
Let's actually break down the math step by step so employers know exactly how this penalty is formulated. Step 1. The PRCAS sets the base daily wage at 80,000 real. Step 2. For the specific offense of forced labor, the law assigns a very heavy penalty multiplier of exactly 63 days. So, you just multiply that base daily wage by the 63-day penalty.
Do the math. 80,000 times 63, and you get a final fine of 5,040,000 riel. That's over 5 million riel. It's a stark, heavy number designed to be a massive deterrent for anyone thinking about skirting the rules. But, as an inspector, I always tell employers this. Avoiding this fine costs literally 0 riel. All you have to do is respect your workers' basic rights, give them their freedom of choice, and follow the law. It really is that simple.
So I want to leave you with a provocative question to really think about. How well is this right respected in your workplace?
Whether you're an employer responsible for following the law or a worker just trying to understand your rights, upholding these basic human standards is something we are all responsible for. Keep learning, keep doing things the right way, and we'll catch you next time.